Welcome to my little sermon on how to practice the piano. Well, this is how I practice. The conventional way, of course, scales. But scales are okay. I've never been a great fan of them personally. The weird thing about scales is that when you get them in a classical piece, the fingering that you're required to do is often completely different to what you may have learnt for the associated board. But that's by the by, really. It seems to me that the best thing to do if you're going to practice is to actually practice a piece of music, and at the end of it you've got a piece that you could perform in a concert. My preferred piece is Chopin's second Etude in A minor. It goes like this. I've recorded it elsewhere, so I won't play it now. Very difficult piece of music. It's not for the faint-hearted. That was more or less the speed it should go at. I think Chopin's metronome mark is about 1/4/4. It's pretty difficult. Sirkin thought it was unplayable, but as a piece to practice, it's brilliant. Now, the way I do it, first of all, I get a metronome, which I set to a tempo of 90, which I've got here. So there's a metronome. And I play it with a triplet sort of rhythm, like this. That's how I started off. Two points there. The metronome's at 90, but I'm using the offbeat. So rather than thinking of it as 1, 2, 3, 4, it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just a much better way to practice, a much sort of cooler way of practicing, if you like. The second thing, I've doubled up the left hand, because in the original, the left hand is basically doing this. It's not particularly difficult. So I've doubled it up. And I play octaves at the bottom, and that way you're practicing your stride technique as well as your right hand. It's fantastic for the right hand because this particular study, you've got all the chromatics going on with the weak fingers. That's what it's mainly for, and it can hurt the hand actually if you play it properly. And the punctuation is with the strong fingers, one at the thumb and the second finger. So it's really is a great chops builder. Now the second way I practice it is the similar rhythm. Instead of da 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 dum, I do da ba da da dum like this. 2, 3, 4. And so on. The third way is a bit more straightforward. It's simply a broken rhythm, so it's dum ba dum ba dum, one potato, whatever. So you can hear that the rhythm's going a bit though. Some of those bits are pretty tricky played like that. And the fourth way is even harder. This is the opposite rhythm. Instead of dum ba dum ba dum, it's ba da 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 ba da ba da. It's quite an unnatural rhythm, but anyway, here it goes. So it's okay. Not particularly proud of that. That wasn't very good, but then this is practice, so that's what I need to do as well as you. So hopefully when you practice it in these 4 stages, the other thing I must stress, rather than just practice it in one hit, divide your practice time over the course of the day into small blocks. 4 blocks of 10 minutes practice in a day is sufficient to get you a really good technique. It really is. That's much better than sitting down at the piano for 3 or 4 hours endlessly. Much better, definitely. Well, that's it. That's how I practice anyway. I think whatever people might think of my piano playing, I think most people will probably acknowledge that I've got a fairly solid technique. I hope so anyway. So good luck with that. Any problems? Email me, mike.hatchard@virgin.net, or I'll send you a transcript of all these exercises with pleasure. So when you've done all this, you should be able to play the Chopin's Etude up to speed. As I said, I've recorded it on another video, but here it is anyway.